Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, December 29th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will be changing, and the candlestick you see right there will also be moving and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one here, KALA. What an absolutely monster move here. And you got to think that a lot of people will be watching it headed into Thursday. So the first key level, going to be that trend line right there. And you got to think that a lot of people have drawn that trend line, and along with that, have drawn another trend line and put that level down at that area right there, which I'm going to go ahead and change to green to represent more so the support part. So yes, there has been a little bit of a downwards channel that has taken place right now. There's no doubt about that. However, you got to factor in the entire thing, not just a downwards channel. So what do I mean by that? Well, again, we'll make it one color to make it maybe easier to see. So we have the downwards channel right there. But what was going on before the downwards channel? Well, you had this huge move up right there. And in doing that and factoring in the big picture, what we now have is a bull flag pattern. Now, let me be very clear, just because, and I wish I could say trading was this easy, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean that for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But I don't think it would be shocking to anybody if this thing all of a sudden decided to find a bid and then maybe get some sort of breakout through the pattern. So if you do like to play bull flag patterns, then I definitely keep an eye on this one moving into Thursday. Next one, JNCE, and same general idea in terms of you have a pattern here that is now in place. So maybe not the same exact pattern, but same general idea. So let me get a couple of these levels here mapped out, and again, change that to green to represent the area of support. And then to make this all the same color again. So we have our resistance, we have our support. You got to factor in what was going on before the move. Well, you had this big explosion here. Difference here, this is a bull pennant pattern. So for visual sake, if you're a golfer, let's put the hole down there. So hope you can picture that as a little pennant there on the golf course. But bull pennant pattern, same general idea, no guarantees, but would it be shocking? Would it, if the price were to turn back up and then get a nice breakup through that level, that is, would not be shocking. That's not irrational to think that way. But again, that is not a guarantee. So if you like to play lower price stocks down below the $2 mark, you like to play bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, APE, and had more of a pullback today. And first update that it comes into play is just, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. But first update is based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So going into the day, this level right here at $1.63 was that area of support, but with the price breaking down below it, per the rule, you'd expect it to act as resistance. And sure enough, you can see the price turned around, try to make a bounce, but right around that area found resistance before coming back down a bit more. So yes, in the very near term, $1.63 going to be that key level of resistance. As far as the next level of support is concerned, that's going to be down here around this gap close location at $1.30. But all in all, everything is still fine. Now, I get it. If you're some sort of day trader, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, or you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within, 7 minutes, well, then yes, from that perspective, things are looking rough. But again, from the big picture point of view, even if the price were to come down here and find support, and then you start to look at these lows, you can still see that big picture-wise, if you envision those lows as stair steps, the stair steps would still be progressing in the upwards direction. Again, I understand if you're some sort of day trader, then you think I'm, who bought right there, then you think I'm crazy for still saying the chart's bullish. But again, I'm making that comment based on a bigger picture point of view. Next one, NIO, and the downtrend continues. So going to go ahead and get rid of that level. And then with the update I just did on the previous one, same general idea, $9.95 was a level of support headed into today. But with the price now breaking below it and closing down here below it, that'll now be the initial level of resistance. So to give some credit's due, there is a little miniature bounce here that's underway. But the big first big test for this bounce will be, can the price get above that $9.95 mark? And then from an overarching standpoint, the level to keep a close eye on will be that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. However, one hurdle at a time. Let's just first see if the price can even get up to and stay above that $9.95 mark. In terms of levels of support, nothing fancy here. Just got to go back a bit more into the chart's history. And the new key level here to watch very closely going to be right down there at $9.60. And $9.60 is very important because, did I just get rid of that? No, that's all right. Because if the price cannot hold above there, then really the next level is not until this gap close location down around 930, which is putting the price even lower than where it was at those lows from back in early November. So yes, the overall downtrend continues here on NIO. Very, very rough move, but we'll see if the price can get some sort of bounce back upwards over the next couple of days. Next one, AMC, and like a lot of these other ones, sound like a broken record, but that's just the type of day it was in the market today with a lot of these key levels of support being broken. So going into the day, $4 was the key level of support, but now that the price is broken below it, this is now going to be an area of resistance, and you can see that it's actually already played that role once. Price broke below it. Next 30-minute session right there, price tried to break above it, couldn't quite do it. So with any sort of bounce, $4 now, that new key area of resistance. As far as supports, nothing fancy, just a question of where did the bleeding finally stop today, and that was down there at the $3.80 mark. So keep an eye on 380 right now. But yeah, the downtrend continues for AMC, and this thing just continues to bleed and bleed and bleed. Where's the bottom? Nobody really knows, but what I do know is that AMC remains a very popular stock, and when this thing does find a bid and get some sort of turnaround, sure, it may just be a dead cat bounce, but from a trading standpoint, those can oftentimes give very, very profitable moves, so worth at least keeping an eye on. Real quickly, wanted to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box to click on. If you're watching on my site, then there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying what you've seen, then I want you to get signed up for the free live training. Next one, PGY, and a very, very beautiful looking chart. I'm not sure why I'm just now seeing this. I suppose shame on me. I mean, this has been in a nice little uptrend, but I suppose later is better than never. So let's map out a couple of key areas here, and this is once again just going to be a pattern that you've already heard me talk about, but we have the level of resistance. We have this area of support, and I'll change that again to green, and then just to make it all one color. So resistance, support, nice move up. Have yourselves another bull flag pattern. So bull flag pattern in an overall nice uptrend. If you like to play these setups, then I definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one, AMD, and want to get a key level here drawn up, more so out of curiosity, but this level of, or this trend line right here, which is what I would call a support trend line. And given this thing, it remains in a bearish downtrend. There we go. Very curious to see. In fact, let me try to get this extended out a little bit more so we can continue to track it. But if this does roll back over, which I don't think anybody would be shocked if it does, then right down here around that area, that's where, in my mind, becomes a question, can that level hold, and does it produce some sort of bounce? Right around, let's just call it $60.75. So that's a level that, for me at least, stands out. And then along with that, you have a trend line like that. So some would disagree, and I understand their vantage point. We'll call it a poor man's falling wedge pattern here, which is a bullish pattern. You would think that a falling wedge is a bearish one, but actually a rising wedge is the bearish one. So we'll call it a poor man's falling wedge here. So if you like to play these patterns, which I do enjoy the falling wedge pattern. I'd keep an eye on it. And if the price can actually get some sort of break up to the upside, especially with AMD being a pretty popular stock, then no guarantees, as I've said, but is it reasonable to think that that break could get some good solid upside buying pressure? Yeah, that seems like a plausible conclusion. Next, TSLA Tesla, and the downtrend sort of continues as it did put in a slight lower low here, but it's getting a bit interesting because maybe this is finally some sort of bottom that's forming. Nothing new has changed from the previous video. Right up here at 117.50, that does remain the key area of resistance. If you wanted to put in a trend line resistance, then one that I'll be keeping an eye on is that trend line right there. In fact, let me just do this to make it maybe a little bit easier to see, so change up the context of it. So that would be initial resistance, but even if that trend line is broken, don't get me wrong, that's a step in the right direction, but you'd still have other areas of resistance to worry about. That level right there at 117.50, and then that 50 period moving average. As far as levels of support are concerned, very straightforward at this point. You can see several times now the price has been down there right around that 108 mark, and it has held strong. So really in my mind is it's breaking down as I speak. Does it come down to 108? And if it does, that's really a big question mark point. Is you're going to have shorts thinking that they're getting ready to short the break. You're going to have longs thinking that it could bounce from that area. Both of those people have logical thought processes, but that's why risk management matters, because somebody will be right, somebody will be wrong. But that doesn't take away from the fact that 108 headed into Thursday is certainly a very significant level. Next, SOFI. Been a while since I've done this one, but want to get things updated as it did make a nice little bounce here. Is this the start of something bigger? That remains to be seen. But the level here that, I'm very curious about with, I think, probably a lot of others is going to be that area of resistance right there, which puts the level right up around $4.42. You can see this was a former area of support, but just a classic example of one that support was broken. It went back to acting as resistance on 3 separate occasions. Does not mean that it can't be broken, but it does suggest that this could be a very much so a problem area if the price were to recover back up to that area. So keep an eye on that trend line as the main area of resistance. As far as levels of support are concerned, sorry, my phone alarm went off. I don't know if the picked up that or not. Oh, here's an old annotation. But the next key level of support, if this thing does continue to pull back, is going to be down here right where it bounced from today. So the bounces today actually make very good sense at 425. I guess I didn't have to go back that far. There we go. But you can see here, 425 found support, and once again found support. So yeah, 425 is going to be one of those levels that everybody and their brother's uncle will be watching if the price goes back down there. And like Tesla, you're going to have some people thinking that it's going to break. You're going to have other people thinking that it's going to bounce. Both of those people are correct, but that's why risk management matters. And here we have TQQQ, which is an ETF that follows the NASDAQ. So if the NASDAQ market goes up, this one will also go up, but it's just very popular because it allows you access at a much lower price point. So because the NASDAQ had another rough day here, this one also had another rough day. And you've heard me say these updates again, but I'll do it one more time because they're relevant. 1660 was that level of support, but with the price now below it, that would be considered an area of resistance. So if this thing does try to turn around and make its way back upwards, 1660 will be the first big question mark point. And then like others, even if the price does break above it, yes, that's a step in the right direction, but you still do have that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, which could present problems. So yeah, be excited about it, but don't be overly excited about it because, there's still a lot more work that needs to be done. And then as far as next potential areas of support are concerned, as you're seeing here, we're basically at lows that have not been seen for a very, very long time, with the next key level of support being down there at that $16 mark. So $16, as you can see here, if that level is broken, then we're put down at lows that have not been seen for that much even longer of a time. So the downtrend continues, but I mean, this is a popular one. All it takes is some sort of little spark, and there can be some very, very worthwhile bounces. So that's why it's worth keeping an eye on. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, again, then get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, December 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, if you want me to continue to put this content out here for you, please help me out by doing 2 things. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. So again, get signed up for that free class. Hit the like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.